Welcome to Corpwell RX, the one and only 3-in-1 online worksite wellness calculator designed to quantify 15 major risk factor cost drivers, assess current wellness intervention impacts, and generate customized break-even prescription forecasts. Unlike other calculators in the worksite wellness arena, Corpwell RX is the only tool that targets up to 15 different potentially modifiable risk factors, is based on over 300 peer-reviewed research studies and analyses, and is virtually customized around your organization's actual profile. During his long and distinguished career as a researcher, professor, author, and consultant, Dr. David Chenoweth has personally witnessed the growing demand for on-the-spot, real-time information tools. Corpwell RX is his latest state-of-the-art tool designed for today's worksite wellness leaders. The Corpwell RX tool incorporates real worksite wellness data from nearly 500 worksite wellness projects and consultations conducted by Chenoweth and Associates over the past 2 decades. The first step to utilizing Corpwell RX is to click the calculator page on the website. Here you will see various windows in which to insert your organization's data, such as industry type, state, and number of employees by age group. The next set of windows request data on current prevalence rates, prevalence changes over the past year, and wellness budget allocations for each risk factor. The remaining data windows request data on employee compensation, medical cost inflation, the wellness budget, and future workforce size. If your organization's current worksite wellness efforts do not target all 15 risk factors, or if you do not target a designated portion of your wellness budget toward a specific risk factor, don't worry. Just refer to the user guide to see how you can tailor Corpwell RX around your actual wellness interventions and budget. Now, let's take a closer look at the first set of windows. Here's a snapshot of demographic data for an organization whose primary business is manufacturing, operates in the state of Indiana, and employs 750 full-time employees across several age groups. The next portion of the calculator includes 3 separate data windows for each risk factor. By focusing on physical inactivity, we see that 34% of employees are currently inactive. The prevalence of inactivity has favorably dropped 1% in the past year, and that 15% of the wellness budget was allocated toward physical activity interventions. The last set of data windows focus on financial and workforce metrics. Here we see the Indiana Manufacturing Company's average annual employee compensation, annual medical care cost inflation rate, total wellness budget, and the projected increase in workforce size. Once you've inserted your organization's data into the calculator, simply press the blue Calculate button to see the real-time results, which instantly appear in several easy-to-read tables and colorful graphs. If you are planning a new or upgraded wellness program, policy, or incentive, you can run multiple what-if scenarios on Corpwell RX by simply inserting real or projected values into selected data windows and then clicking the Calculate button. The first table and corresponding bar graph show current and 5-year projected costs tied to all of the targeted risk factors based on your organization's demographics entered in the data tables. The second table lists point-in-time values on 4 metrics for each risk factor. Here we see the combined annual medical care and lost productivity cost for physical inactivity, the cost savings per wellness dollar spent, comparison to the industry norm, and the risk reduction impacts required to achieve break-even status. The next graph in the results section illustrates all of the targeted risk factors by cost level, so you can immediately identify the most pressing areas. As you can see, cost rankings reveal the costliest risk factors and provide a reliable baseline for future comparisons. The next graph shows annual dollar savings per cost dollar for each of the targeted risk factors. The savings are ranked in terms of highest to lowest net values, with risk factor impacts generating a positive benefit to cost ratio highlighted with green bars. Are your worksite wellness efforts up to speed and competitive in today's industry? Corpwell RX provides you with a snapshot of industry benefit cost norms derived from over 75 peer-reviewed econometric analyses that have been published over the past 3 decades. The final graph shows the number of risk reduction impacts required to achieve break-even status and, as previously mentioned, is customized around your organization's data. So, if you're looking for a tool with 3-in-1 versatility, the scope to quantify 15 major risk factor cost drivers, the power to establish industry norms, the savvy to convert 4 decades of research into real-time applications, the objectivity to generate point-in-time data outcomes, the customization to factor in your organization's actual makeup, and of course, affordability for your worksite wellness budget. Your solution is here, Corpwell RX. To purchase your annual license, click on your membership.